friendly coach. You just want to talk. I don't know. We're at the University of Arkansas, in case you were wondering. And Sam Pittman joins us. And
Go on.
It's been raining all day, Coach. I know that's kind of normal weather out here,
Yeah.
but this is duck hunting country. But but you got some great fans, and they're excited that you're about to kick things off against Cincinnati. How do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, we back healthy. You know, we were beat up a little bit there a couple of weeks ago and got all our guys back, so we're back healthy. And I think we've got a good team. We'll see what that ends up being on the wins and losses, but I like our team.
When the first game, we were here last year for the second game, and you knew a little bit, and you had Texas coming in. Not that tomorrow is any Cincinnati only was in the playoffs last year. Is it I mean, every year is nerve-wracking, every game's nerve-wracking, but is the first game against a big-time opponent even more unsettling?
It really is. You know, 2 years ago we opened up with Georgia, you know, and I was very, very, very nervous. Of course, it was my first game as well, but I know a lot more about our team, you know, so I feel a little more comfortable about that. But opening up with Cincinnati is hard. There's some good things about it because I think you practice a little bit better in fall camp because you know you've got a top 20, top 25 program in town.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say. Cincinnati played Alabama last year in the national semifinals. Let me ask you about that because it was just announced that there will be a 12-team playoff sometime in the future.
Yeah.
24, 25, 26. Knowing this group, it probably won't be soon, or rather.
That's right.
But as a coach of a program that's trying to ascend and get in that mix, is that good news?
Certainly it is. You know, I'm all for it. You know, I get a little bit of hesitation in the SEC because it's worked for us. You know, we've been one national championship in the way that it is now. We got 2 in last year. But I was also at Georgia when I thought we, you know, had a top 5, 6 team in the country where it would have been nice to go into the playoffs. But I'm all for it. I think it'll be really good for the fans as well.
Yeah, I guess in today's current environment, like in the NFL, you don't have to be at the top. You can be close, and you have a chance. And I would suppose, not that anyone likes to think about anything other than competing for a championship, but it changes the dynamics, does it not?
I think it'll help a lot of people in recruiting as well, like what I think you're maybe alluding to a little bit. And you know, again, I think it's good for the fans. I think they can use it with the major bowls and things of that nature. So I'm excited about it.
And I guess in the SEC, it does give you a little bit of room for error, which you have none right now. You play Alabama every year. You have the usual suspects. You lose a game, and you better hope.
Well, it is that way
like
now.
Like a Georgia.
It is. Yeah, we lost South Carolina that year, early in the year, and then went on a run, lost in the championship, and we were out. I think it gives hope to Arkansas and anywhere somebody is in that top 20 that, you know, possibly can get in the playoffs and make a run, and who knows what will happen in a one-game series.
I know I hear probably more of it than you because I'm exposed to it while you're at practice doing real work. But the wild speculation of the offseason, and you talk to your great fans here, and it's everywhere. Does that – I mean, I know you can't help – you can't stay away from it. You're speaking to groups occasionally before the season. You have a show. You talk to folks. But does it get maddening because the expectations are always probably a little out of reality?
Well, they're excited. You know, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't really gone the other way yet, you know, so I'd be interested to see if that ever happened, what would, you know.
You don't want to do that.
I don't. I don't at all. But you know it, Paul. Once you get to 9 and you play a 12-game season, you know, there's only 10, 11. There's only 3 numbers, you know, left. And, you know, if you're at 6, you go to 8, everybody's pretty happy because you improved. But you still have 4 numbers left. It's harder once you get to 9 to go to 10, 11, 12 because that just means you have to beat more powerful teams in the country. We have won 4 games against top 25 opponents the last 2 years, but to get to 10 and 11, you're going to have to win maybe 4 of those a year.
Your boss will be by later, and I realize he doesn't have a lot to do with this, but Arkansas always – not only do you always end up with the most difficult non-conference schedule, I mean, who else starts Cincinnati and then a major conference game next week? I mean, whatever happened to Mercer or Alon? Or
yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering where they're at, where they are. And I mean, I'm sure they've got good programs too.
I'm sure.
But you know, Paul, all 12 of our opponents were invited to postseason last year. I mean, all 12 of them. And you know, BYU has 20
and then there's
starters coming
Liberty.
back. And Liberty's really good. They've won 3 bowls in a row.
Right.
I mean, they're a really good team. So they're all really good. It makes it good for the fans because you know they're going to come in and see a quality opponent, a really good opponent, really good game, and things of that nature. But I'd like to. We don't need to play, 2 non-conference teams in the top 25 every year, or somebody else would be sitting here talking to me. I don't want to do that.
I don't know who came up with a BYU game in the middle of the year, but if it's your current boss, I won't say anything. But if it's the guy that was before him,
no, that was before
somebody. I don't want to be too violent here, but somebody at least knock the guy in the head once or twice, because that's ridiculous.
What we've learned is, and last year was the same way, Paul. What we've learned is you just don't look at the schedule as a whole. Just look at the next week, and you can kind of handle it that way.